Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jillian, and I would like to tell you about the time I was almost victim to an eldritch being. Earlier this summer, my husband, our friend, and I had decided it would be fun to go out camping for the night. We decided to go out to 4 Mile, which is right down the road from Lake of the Woods. Now, where we stayed was not at the lake, but on a side trail that hadn't been maintained in who knows how long. And it was the most beautiful spot. There were huckleberries everywhere with wildflowers blooming all around us. There were bugs everywhere, and a strong creek that drowned out any noise from the outside world. It was practically paradise on earth. That was until the sun started setting. As it got darker, I could feel that something quite wasn't right. I began to notice how quiet it was, and I had taken note that I couldn't see a single bug anywhere. No birds, nothing. That was until I saw movement in the distance. From the brush on the other side of the creek, a deer had emerged. The hair on the back of my neck stood up straight, and I could feel my heart drop into my stomach. There was something seriously wrong with this deer. It was so skinny, and its fur was ragged and discolored, and its back legs looked just a little too long. My first thought was chronic wasting disease, but deep down I knew it was something more sinister than that. After we had chased it off in hopes that it wouldn't come back, we went for a walk to distract ourselves from the deer. But when we had gotten back to camp, the deer hadn't left and decided the chips we brought were a delicious snack. So we chased it off again. But this time something else had come back instead. As me and my husband discussed whether we should start a campfire, our friend who was looking out into the dark trees said, "The deer is back." And in that second, we all mutually decided that we needed to pack up and leave. As I was taking down my hammock, I could feel myself being watched, and I looked up to see a shape rising above the dark trees, and I quickly averted my gaze. I could feel myself start to shake as we packed the car. Once the car was packed with us inside, we dumped the rest of the chips onto the road as an offering and quickly sped off. I noticed the deer was behind us once again, but this time it stayed where it was, watching us drive off into the distance. The purpose of this speech is to touch on how important it is you listen to your gut instincts and how imperative it is that you maintain respect and caution when you enter the woods. To begin with my first point, what this camping trip did teach me is that I need to listen to my gut when it tells me something is amiss, and that trusting myself is the first step to survival. And secondly, it taught me to always proceed with caution. Even if you aren't dealing with the unnatural, there are always threats around. My second point is that it's important to respect the unknown. If we had not come back when it was time to leave, there was a chance we weren't coming back at all. There are things in this world that we don't understand, and if we don't respect that like countless others haven't, then there's a chance you won't come home. To wrap things up, you will never know when you're in a life or death situation. Knowing when to trust your gut and make the right decisions will save your life. There are forces out in nature, powerful and dangerous forces that do not see us as exceptions to the rules. Whether it's a landslide, an old spirit, or another human, please proceed with caution. Your life may just depend on it.